All right. Welcome back, football fans. Big Al here on this Thursday, November 10th, 2022. And it's that time of week where I make my picks for the upcoming week in the National Football League. In this case, week number 10. Only in this video and in others going forward here, we're going to do things a little differently. Notice how a couple weeks ago I started updating you on the standings in the NFL at the beginning of each video. Well, now that we're at the midway point of the season, we're going to do those at the end of the video, plus take a look at the playoff races in both conferences. So again, that's coming up at the end, so stay tuned for that. And now, without further ado, I'm about to give you my picks for Week 10 in the NFL, both straight up and against the spread. I'll also outline the maps for the Sunday afternoon games on both CBS and Fox. Give the announced pairings for every game. And yeah, that's what we're about to do right now. So let's jump right into it. First off, a couple of notes to tell you about. Thursday Night Football, which is tonight, the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. At 8:15 Eastern on Amazon Prime Video. The game will be locally televised on Fox owned and operated WAGA Channel 5 in Atlanta, and on WSOC Channel 9, the ABC station in Charlotte. On Sunday morning, you got the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing over in Munich, Germany. That game is on NFL Network at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, with Rich Eisen, Kurt Warner, Steve Mariucci, and Michael Irvin. This game will be locally televised on KIRO Channel 7, the CBS television station in Seattle, and on ABC station WFTS Channel 28 in Tampa Bay. Sunday Night Football with the Chargers and Niners is at 8:20 Eastern on NBC. Well, I'll tell you all about that game a little later on. And on Monday night, you got the Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles on ESPN at 8:15. Now, the game will be blacked out on ESPN in the Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. area. So the game will be locally televised over the air in both markets. On Fox owned and operated WTTG Channel 5 in Washington, and on my network TV affiliate WPHL Channel 17 in Philadelphia. That said, let's jump right into the picks. Starting off with Thursday Night Football. The 4-5 Atlanta Falcons at the 2-7 Carolina Panthers. So the Falcons come in number 18 in my Week 10 power rankings. The Panthers are number 30. These two teams met just 11 days ago in Atlanta, and the Falcons ended up winning a thriller in overtime. This time, the two divisional rivals will clash at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte in what looks to be a bad weather game, because it looks like the Carolinas will be feeling the effects of what is now Hurricane Nicole that hit the southeastern Florida coast late last night, early this morning. And some of the outer bands from Nicole has stretched into the Carolinas. So weather looks like will be a factor tonight. The game is tonight at 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific on Amazon Prime Video and called by Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit. Current point spread is Atlanta minus 2.5, and the over-under is 42.5. I'm taking the Falcons to win this game 24-16, have this game finishing under the total. And I'm taking the ATL to cover the 2.5 points. So this is probably going to be a run type game for both teams, given the fact of the weather conditions in Charlotte later on tonight. Now to the Sunday schedule. And the fourth of the NFL's international games of 2022, and a first for the league, as the 6-3 and NFC West leading Seattle Seahawks face off with the 4-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Munich, Germany. The first ever NFL game played in Germany. So history being made here. Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern on NFL Network with Rich Eisen, Kurt Warner, Steve Mariucci, and Michael Irvin. Of course, those four guys make up the NFL Game Day morning crew. Current point spread is Tampa Bay minus 3. The over-under is 44.5. But I'm going against the grain here. I'm taking Seattle. They're the better team in this game, and I think they limit their mistakes, whereas Tampa Bay's been making quite a few of them this year. That said, I'm taking the Seahawks 27-20. I have the game finishing over to 44.5, and I'm taking the Hawks to cover the 3 points. All right, now to the Sunday afternoon schedule. 10 games on the slate. 7 in the early window, 3 late. Starting things off, the 3-5 Cleveland Browns at the 6-3 Miami Dolphins. Oh, by the way, the Seahawks, they are number 15 in my Week 10 power rankings, while the Buccaneers are 17th. And in this game, the Cleveland Browns are number 24 in my power rankings, while the Dolphins are number 9. This game is Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. On the CBS map on 506sports.com, this game is in yellow. Main CBS stations are WOIO in Cleveland and WFOR in Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Major markets outside of Cleveland and Miami getting this game include Birmingham, West Palm Beach, Fort Myers, Cincinnati, Columbus, Dayton, Baltimore, Boston, and Providence. The announcers are Greg Gumbel and Adam Archuleta. Current point spread is Miami minus 3.5, and the over-under is set at 49. I have the Dolphins winning this game 24-23 out of respect of the Browns' ground game. I got this game finishing under the 49 points, and I'm taking Cleveland to cover the 3.5 points as the visiting underdog. Next up, you got the Denver Broncos at 3-5 at the Tennessee Titans at 5-3. Denver is ranked number 22 in my Week 10 power rankings, while the Titans are number 13. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. On the CBS map on 506sports.com, this game is in orange. The main CBS stations are CBS owned and operated KCNC in Denver and CBS affiliate WTVF in Nashville. And not too many people will be getting this game. Other major markets outside of Denver and Nashville receiving this game include Memphis, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Colorado Springs, and Albuquerque, and a bunch of rural areas in the West. Current point spread is Tennessee minus 2.5, over-under 36.5. And I'm expecting the Tennessee Titans to have Malik Willis start at quarterback and not Ryan Tannehill. And for this point only, I'm taking the Broncos to win 21-17. I have the game finishing just over the 36.5 points And I have Denver as the visiting underdog covering the spread. All right, up next, the Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. 2-6 versus 3-6. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. The Lions are ranked number 26 in my latest power rankings. The Bears are number 31. On the Fox early map on 506sports.com, this game is in blue. Main Fox stations are WJBK Detroit and WFLD Chicago, both of which are Fox owned and operated stations. Get my words mixed up. Major markets getting this game include Grand Rapids, Lansing, Flint, pretty much every major market in Michigan, South Bend, Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, the Quad Cities, Peoria, and Springfield, Illinois. The announcers are Kevin Kugler and Mark Sanchez. Current point spread is Chicago -3, over-unders 48.5. I'm taking the Bears to win 31-24, again, out of respect of their ground game. I have this game finishing over the 48.5, and I have Chicago covering the 3 points. Oh, by the way, the Broncos-Titans game will be called by Andrew Catalan and James Lofton. I almost forgot to put that in there, but there you go. All right, our next game is the 1-6-1 Houston Texans at the 6-2 New York Football Giants. The Texans are ranked number 32 in my Week 10 power rankings. The Giants, near the top, they're at number 7. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. On the CBS map on 506sports.com, this game is in blue. Main CBS stations are CBS affiliate KHOU in Houston and CBS owned and operated and network flagship WCBS TV in New York. Major markets getting this game include Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Washington, D.C., Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, and Hartford. The announcers for this game are Ian Eagle and Charles Davis. Current point spread is New York -5, and the over-under is 41. I'm taking the G-Men to win this one, 26-20. I have the game finishing over the 41 points. And I also have New York barely covering the 5-point spread. 5-point spread. There we go. Okay. Next up, the 3-6 Jacksonville Jaguars at the 6-2 Kansas City Chiefs. The Jaguars are currently number 27 in my Week 10 power rankings, while the Chiefs are number 2. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. On the CBS map on 506sports.com, this game is listed in red. Main CBS stations are WJAX TV in Jacksonville and KCTV in Kansas City. Major markets getting this game outside of Jacksonville and Kansas City include Portland, Spokane, Boise, San Francisco, Bakersfield, Los Angeles, San Diego, Phoenix, Tucson, El Paso, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Little Rock, Baton Rouge, Wichita, Omaha, St. Louis, Des Moines, Madison, Green Bay, Milwaukee, Grand Rapids, Atlanta, Charlotte, Raleigh-Durham, Norfolk, Richmond, Orlando, and Tampa, St. Petersburg. The announcers are Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. Current point spread is Kansas City -9.5, over-unders 50.5. And this game is going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. I'm taking the Chiefs 27-21. I have the game finishing under the 50.5. And I have Jacksonville covering that mammoth 9.5 point spread. Up next, you've got probably the game of the day, or one of them anyway. The 7-1 Minnesota Vikings at the 6-2 Buffalo Bills. And this is a top 5 matchup, according to my power rankings, as Minnesota sits number 4 in my Week 10 power rankings, and Buffalo sits number 3. This is Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. On the Fox early map on 506sports.com, this game's listed in red. And a vast majority of the country will be getting this particular game. The main Fox stations are KMSP Channel 9 in Minneapolis, St. Paul, owned and operated station of Fox, and affiliate WUTV in Buffalo. Major markets outside of the Twin Cities and the Niagara Frontier getting this game include Seattle, Spokane, Boise, Portland, Reno, Sacramento, San Francisco, Fresno, Bakersfield, Los Angeles, San Diego, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Tucson, Salt Lake City, Denver, Colorado Springs, Albuquerque, El Paso, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Little Rock, Wichita, Kansas City, St. Louis, Omaha, Des Moines, Madison, Green Bay, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton, Louisville, Nashville, Memphis, Knoxville, Birmingham, Atlanta, Charlotte, Raleigh-Durham, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Fort Myers, West Palm Beach, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, Boston, Providence, Hartford, New York City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, Richmond, and Norfolk. The announcers are Joe Davis and Daryl the Moose Johnston. Current point spread is Buffalo minus 3.5. Over under is 43.5. I'm assuming Josh Allen is going to play. He's having a bit of a shoulder problem that he suffered at the end of last week's loss to the Jets. But I'm assuming that he will play. And I have the Bills winning this game 26-24. I have this game going over the total. But I have Minnesota covering as the visiting underdog at plus 3.5. So give me the points with the Vikings. The final early game on Sunday is the 3-6 New Orleans Saints at the 2-6 Pittsburgh Steelers. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. On the Fox early map on 506sports.com, this game is listed in green. Main Fox stations, are WVUE Channel 8 in New Orleans and WPGH Channel 53 Pittsburgh. And not a lot of eyeballs on this game either. Major markets getting this game outside of New Orleans and Pittsburgh include Baton Rouge and Shreveport, as well as Jackson, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, Cincinnati, and Harrisburg. The announcers are Adam Amin and Mark Schlereth. Current point spread is New Orleans minus 1.5, and the over-under is 40. I'm taking the Saints 28-17. I have the game finishing over the points, and I have the Saints covering the 1.5 as the visiting favorite. Now to the 3 late games, starting off with the 3-5-1 Indianapolis Colts at the 2-6 Las Vegas Raiders. By the way, the Saints were number 29 in my Week 10 power rankings. The Steelers a spot ahead of them at number 28. And in this game, the Indianapolis Colts are number 23 and the Raiders are number 20. This game is Sunday at 4:05 Eastern on CBS. On the CBS map on 506sports.com, this game's listed in green. The main CBS stations are the Indianapolis simulcast of WTTV and WTTK, and KLAS Channel 8 in Las Vegas representing the Raiders. Major markets getting this game include Reno, Sacramento, Fresno, New Orleans, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Chicago, Detroit, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh. The announcers are Kevin Harlan and Trent Green. Current point spread is Vegas -6, over under 42.5. The Raiders are much better at home than they are on the road. That's why I'm taking Vegas to win this one 34-17. I got the game over the 42.5 points, and I have the Raiders covering the 6. Now to game 2 of Fox's doubleheader. You got the 3-6 Arizona Cardinals at the 3-5 Los Angeles Rams. Now there is quarterback questions coming out of this game for the Rams. Apparently, Matthew Stafford is in concussion protocol. We do not know who would go in his place if he weren't to go on Sunday. All right. The Arizona Cardinals are currently ranked number 25 in my Week 10 power rankings. The Rams are number 16. This game is Sunday at 4:25 Eastern on Fox. And on the Fox late match on 506sports.com, this game is shaded in blue. The main Fox stations are both Fox owned and operated. KSAZ Channel 10 here in Phoenix and KTTV Channel 11 out in LA. And this game is mainly confined to Southern California and Arizona for the most part. It's the major markets outside of Phoenix and LA. Again, this game includes Tucson, San Diego, Bakersfield, and Fresno. The announcers for this game are Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma. Current point spread is LA -1. Over under is 41. Whether or not Stafford plays, I still have the Rams winning this game 27-23 because quite simply, Sean McVay owns the Arizona Cardinals, especially in Los Angeles. I have this game finishing over the 41 points, and I'm taking the Rams -1 at home to cover. And then in America's Game of the Week, a rivalry reborn as the 6-2 Dallas Cowboys visit Lambeau Field to face the struggling 3-6 Green Bay Packers in the midst of a 5-game losing streak. Oh, and this is also Mike McCarthy's long-awaited return to Green Bay as the Dallas coach. So there's another storyline for you. Sunday at 4:25 Eastern on Fox. On the Fox late map on 506sports.com, this game is listed in red. So this is the game of interest in the late window on Fox. Main Fox stations are KDFW in Dallas-Fort Worth, which is a Fox-owned and operated station. And then the Packers have a pair of stations. The local station in Green Bay is WLUK Channel 11. Their secondary station is Fox-owned and operated WITI Channel 6 in Milwaukee. Major markets outside of Dallas, Green Bay, and Milwaukee receiving this game include Seattle, Spokane, Boise, Portland, Reno, Sacramento, San Francisco, Salt Lake City, Denver, Colorado Springs, Albuquerque, El Paso, and every Fox station in both the Eastern and Central time zones. The announcers for this game are Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson. Current point spread is Dallas -5, over under is 43. I got the Cowboys winning 30-19. I have this game finishing over the 43 points, and I'm taking the boys to cover the 5. That brings us to Sunday night football. In an inter-conference tilt by the Bay, as the 5-3 Los Angeles Chargers take on the 4-4 San Francisco 49ers. All right. The Cowboys are ranked number 5 in my Week 10 power rankings. The Packers are 19. And in this game, the Chargers are ranked number 14 in my power rankings, and the 49ers are 6th. So the Chargers and Niners is Sunday at 8:20 Eastern on NBC. The main NBC stations for this game are KNBC TV in Los Angeles and KNTV Channel 11 in San Jose, San Francisco, both of which are NBC owned and operated stations. The announcers for that game are Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. Current point spread is San Fran -7. The over-under is 45. I have the Niners winning 27-19. I have the game going over the total, and I'm taking San Francisco to cover the 7 points. And closing things out, as far as my picks are concerned, is Monday Night Football and an NFC Eastern Division battle as the 4-5 Washington Commanders visit the 8-0 and still undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. Monday night at 8:15 on ESPN. The game will be called by Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. The current point spread is Philadelphia -11, and the over-under is 44 points. I'm taking the Eagles to win straight up 31-24. I have the game going over the 44 points, well over, in fact. But I'm taking Washington as the underdog to cover the 11 points. Keep this thing close. All right, teams off this week include the 6-3. All right, the Washington Commanders ranked 21st in my Week 10 power rankings, while the Philadelphia Eagles have moved into that number 1 spot, thanks in large part to the Bills losing last week. In the bye week, here in week number 10, you've got the 6-3 Baltimore Ravens ranked 8th in my power rankings. The 5-4 Cincinnati Bengals ranked number 12. The 5-4 New England Patriots ranked number 10. And the 6-3 New York Jets ranked number 11. So those are my picks for this week. Now, as promised, I'll look at the NFL standings and the current playoff picture in both the AFC and NFC. And we'll start with the AFC. Your 4 division leaders at this time would be the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East, the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West, the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North, and the Tennessee Titans in the AFC South. Buffalo is 6-2, 0-2 against their division, 4-2 against the conference. Strength of schedule percentage is .544. Strength of victory percentage is .500. Buffalo wins the tiebreaker over Kansas City based on head-to-head win percentage. And then you have the West front-running Kansas City Chiefs also at 6-2. They are 2-0 within their division and 3-2 in the conference. Strength of schedule percentage is .485. Strength of victory percentage is .450. Then you have the AFC North front runners, the Baltimore Ravens, at 6-3. 2-0 within their division, 4-2 in the conference. Strength of schedule percentage for Baltimore is .564. Strength of victory is .491. And then, rounding out your division leaders, the South front-running Tennessee Titans at 5-3 and sitting in the number 4 spot. They are a perfect 3-0 within the AFC South, including 2 wins over Indianapolis. They are 4-2 in the conference. Strength of schedule is 485. Strength of victory is 537. And that brings us to the 3 wild cards. The number 5 seed and the AFC's top wild card is the New York Jets at 6-3. 2-1 within the division, 5-3 in the conference. Strength of schedule is 506 and strength of victory is 460. New York would win the tiebreaker over Miami based on head-to-head win percentage. In the number 6 spot and the number 2 AFC wildcard, the Miami Dolphins, also sitting 6-3, also sitting 2-1 in division, but they're just 4-2 in the conference. Strength of schedule percentage is 545. Strength of victory is 471. And in the final wild card spot, or the number 7 seed, that's the Los Angeles Chargers at 5-3. 2-1 versus the AFC West, 4-2 overall in the conference. Strength of schedule percentage is 425. Strength of victory is 329. And then outside of the playoff picture, you got both the New England Patriots and the Cincinnati Bengals at 5-4. The Patriots are 1-1 versus the AFC East, 4-2 in the conference. Strength of schedule is 442. Strength of victory is 393. While the Bengals are 0-3 in their division, 2-3 overall in the conference. Strength of schedule percentage is 487. Strength of victory percentage is 467. New England wins the tiebreaker over Cincinnati based on best win percentage in conference games. Sitting in the 10 spot is the Indianapolis Colts, 3-5-1, 1-3-1 within the division, 3-4-1 within the conference. Strength of schedule percentage is 467. Strength of victory is 480. And then you have a tie for 11th with the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos, both at 3-5. Cleveland is 2-1 within the AFC North, 2-4 in the conference. Strength of schedule is 500. Strength of victory is 346. The Broncos are 2-1 in the 0-2, in the AFC West. And the AFC West. 2-4 in the conference. 456 strength of schedule. 340 strength of victory. Cleveland wins the tiebreak over Denver based on strength of victory. 346 versus 340. Number 13 is the Jacksonville Jaguars at 3-6, 1-2 in the division, 3-3 in the conference. 487 is their strength of schedule percentage, and 420 is their strength of victory. Then you have a tie for 14th with the Raiders and Steelers, both sitting 2-6. Vegas is 1-2 in the AFC West, 2-4 overall in the conference. Strength of schedule percentage is 440. Strength of victory is 281. Pittsburgh has a 1-1 record in the AFC North and 1-5 in the conference. Strength of schedule percentage is 623. Strength of victory 500. Vegas does own the tiebreaker with Pittsburgh based on best win percentage in conference games. And sitting at the bottom of the AFC, you have the Houston Texans at 1-6-1. 1-1-1 within the AFC South and 1-4-1 in the conference. Strength of schedule percentage is 485, and the strength of victory percentage is 333 for the Houston Texans. So that's the AFC standings and the playoff picture there. Now let's take a look at the NFC. Your top four teams are your top four teams are your division leaders. You've got the Philadelphia Eagles, leaders of the NFC East, sitting in the number 1 spot. The Minnesota Vikings, leaders of the NFC North, sitting in the number 2 spot. The Seattle Seahawks, leaders of the NFC West, and sitting in the number 3 spot. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, technically co-leaders of the NFC South, but they would have the edge right now, putting them in the number 4 spot. All right, Philly is 8-0, 2-0 in the NFC East, 5-0 in the conference. Strength of schedule and strength of victory for the Eagles is the same, 425. Minnesota is 7-1, 3-0 in the NFC North, 6-1 in the conference. Strength of schedule is 457, strength of victory 387. Seattle sits with a 6-3 record, 2-1 in the NFC West, 4-3 in the conference. Strength of schedule is 430, strength of victory slightly better at 440. Correction, there's Seattle's strength of schedule is actually 434. And then you got the Tampa Bay 4-5, 2-1 in the division, 4-2 in the conference. Strength of schedule is 455. Strength of victory is 471. Tampa Bay currently owns the tiebreak over Atlanta based on head-to-head win percentage. The Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, and San Francisco 49ers would have the 3 wild card spots. As it sits, Dallas is the top wild card in the NFC, sitting in that number 5 spot with a 6-2 record, 2-1 in the NFC East, 5-2 in the conference. Strength of schedule percentage is 515. Strength of victory is 451. Dallas has the tie. In fact, I'll read that in a sec. The New York Giants in the number 6 spot is also 6-2. 0-1 within the division. Of course, that loss coming to the Cowboys on a Monday night. 3-2 in the conference, 486 strength of schedule, and 415 strength of victory. Now I can tell you Dallas owns the tiebreaker over New York based on head-to-head win percentage. And in the number 7 spot, the final wild card, the San Francisco 49ers, 4-4. They're a perfect 3-0 within the NFC West, 4-2 in the conference. Strength of schedule percentage is 441. Strength of victory is 412. They got a tie for 8th with the Atlanta Falcons and Washington Commanders. Both teams sit at 4-5. The Falcons are 1-2 in the NFC South, 3-3 in the conference. Strength of schedule percentage 455. Strength of victory percentage 441. Washington is also 4-5, 0-2 in the NFC East, 2-4 in the conference, 533 strength of schedule percentage, 347 strength of victory. Atlanta owns the tiebreaker over Washington based on best win percentage in conference games. In 10th place, that's where you'll find the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Los Angeles Rams. 3-5 record, 1-2 in the division, 3-4 in conference. 485 strength of schedule percentage, 333 strength of victory percentage. There you have a 4-way tie for 11th with the Saints, Packers, Cardinals, and Bears, all sitting 3-6. New Orleans is 1-2 in their division, 2-4 in the conference. Strength of schedule is 494. Strength of victory 462. Green Bay is 1-2 in the division, 2-4 in the conference. 558 strength of schedule, 444 strength of victory. Arizona is an abysmal 0-3 in the NFC West, 2-5 in the conference. 566 strength of schedule, 269 strength of victory. And Chicago is 0-2 in their division and 1-5 in the conference. 559 strength of schedule percentage, 420 strength of victory percentage. New Orleans has the tiebreaker over Green Bay based on strength of victory. They also win the tiebreaker over Arizona based on best win percentage in conference games. The division tie break was initially used to eliminate Chicago. Green Bay wins the break over Chicago based on head-to-head win percentage. As for the Packers, they own the tiebreaker over the Cardinals based on best win percentage in conference games. The division tiebreaker was initially used to eliminate Chicago, in which Green Bay has the tiebreaker with based on head-to-head win percentage. And Arizona would win the tiebreaker over Chicago based on best win percentage in conference games. And then at the bottom of the NFC, at number 15 is the Detroit Lions at 2-6, 1-1 within the division, 2-4 in the conference, 652 strength of schedule percentage, 389 strength of victory percentage. And finally, the Carolina Panthers round out the NFC with a 2-7 record, 2-1 within the division, and 2-5 in the conference. 455 strength of schedule and 389 strength of victory. And that is that. My Week 10 picks, both straight up against the spread. The maps outlining all the Sunday afternoon games, plus the announcers for each game, and the updated NFL standings and playoff races in both conferences. So that is it for this week. We'll be back Monday morning with a check of the standings in both the NBA and NHL. And then we'll record everything that took place with the week that was. That's coming up on Tuesday, as is the college football national rankings, including the third installment of the college football playoff rankings, and the Week 12 college football schedule and announcers for each game. That's all coming on Tuesday. And then next week, I'll be back with my Week 11 NFL picks and an updated look at the standings and playoff pictures in both conferences. So that is it for today. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. It really helps the man out. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pigskin tonight and this weekend. Peace out.